Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the Baltimore Ravens and their dynamic rookie quarterback Lamar Jackson take on the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Cincinnati for the home opener. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Calling the shots in the huddle will be the 8th-year man from TCU. His first season in his 30s. The quarterback is Andy Dalton.
2 straight subpar years for the Bengals, 6-9-1 in 2016, followed by a 7-9 in 2017. Many are starting to wonder whether Andy Dalton's actually on the hot seat this year. It's unfortunate. It comes with the territory when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, even if it's not always fair.
First and 10 for Dalton. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop. And in the backfield out of the starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
They'll run again with Bernard. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And Eifert has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Dalton, 1st and 10. It's hauled by Torrey Smith. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Underneath, this is Bernard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Gives to Bernard. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it? To find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll run again now with Darkwa. And he's got room. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
And when you build a defense, start from the inside out. Geno Atkins is your anchor at defensive tackle. Now he's got a great running mate in Chris Baker, who's had nice years in Washington and Tampa Bay. It'll be tough to move the ball against the Bengals defensive front.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the 1st quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
Now Bernard. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles. 4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to this season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now it's Jackson, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green. 96 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And now here come the Ravens. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Darkwa. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle made that time by Chris Baker. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. One quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. It's a tight game here early. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he caught it up, and the Bengals covered it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guys didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson, open man, it's Allen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out to
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
Let's go! 3-19! Detroit!
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And the grab by Croft. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run with Darquan. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know. And go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts. But don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30. But my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And some room to maneuver. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On the run, Darquan bowls him over and stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Set. 3-19.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Brandon Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul searching now. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions. And finally on Monday night, a good one in the NFC, Seahawks, Bears from Soldier Field. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up to about the 40. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this is incomplete. trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Dancing to his left. Buying time to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Jackson. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Chris Baker never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Here's Jackson on 3rd down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Dalton now, the pass. Open man to Shuzan. And he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Andy Dalton going up top. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Nortman on to kick as he sends it away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on first.
And that's exactly why the Ravens drafted him, added him to their stable after drafting Hayden Hurst in the 1st round. A second tight end who can catch the football. He looks like a guy who's going to line up on the line of scrimmage and mash you in the running game as a blocker.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
With it is Brown. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He got 29 yards that time. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And Dalton to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now.
And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big-body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble-prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around them when they go through the line.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. To throw on 3rd down. Jackson being chased out left. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Now, check. Patriot.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. first down, they go with Dixon. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game and trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Barney. No. Check. Patriot. Here we go. Patriot. Green, 39. Check. Patriot. 39.
On 1st and goal, Owens. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And that is incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Throwing, Dalton, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Near midfield at the 49. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And he fends him off. And no, it's incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
A run by Dixon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. All right, here's Dalton. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Big spot, Andy Dalton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And some room to work. Oh, and now he bowls it over. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
No, check, Patriot!
On first, they go right back to Collins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over 1 minute to go in the game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's a first down run with Collins. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with under 1 minute to go now in the football game. On second down, Collins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Ravens, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.